Imagine you have a choice. Either you can have $50 now, or you can wait a month and have $100 instead. Which do you choose, and how does your choice predict so much about your life? The Marshmallow test was an experiment conducted by psychologist Walter Mischel, which began in the 1960s. He wanted to understand how willpower and our ability to delay gratification works in our everyday life. To understand this, preschool children were given a simple choice. The researcher would present them with two options. They could either have one marshmallow now, or two marshmallows if they waited for the researcher to return. The marshmallows were placed in front of the child so that they knew the treats were real and not some empty promise. More than 550 children were given the marshmallow test between 1968 and 1974. A sample of these children were followed over the next 40 years and assessed every decade on a range of measures. By the time they were teenagers, the children who had delayed longer on the marshmallow test exhibited more self-control, were less distractible in class, were more intelligent, better able to cope with stress, planned ahead more, and were more able to pursue their goals. These findings continued into adulthood. Now in their late 20s, those who had delayed longer in preschool were less likely to use drugs, had a significantly lower body mass index, had reached higher educational levels, and were better at maintaining close relationships. How is it that our ability to delay gratification with a simple test of willpower in childhood can predict so much of how our lives play out? To understand this, we have to look at what is going on in our brains. The limbic system developed early on in our evolution and regulates our basic drives and emotions, such as fear, hunger, sex, and anger. This system helped us to survive the dangers that our early ancestors faced. Although we no longer have to worry about being eaten by a lion, our limbic system still works in much the same way. Immediate rewards such as eating the one marshmallow activate our hot, automatic unconscious limbic system, whilst paying little attention to the delayed rewards of waiting for more marshmallows. Closely linked with the brain's hot system is the cool system, which is primarily centered in the prefrontal cortex. This system is more complex, reflective, and slower to activate. It helps us to make thoughtful and rational decisions, and to consider the long-term consequences. Both hot and cool systems are linked. As one becomes more active, the other becomes less active. The children who were able to cool their hot system and control their impulsive tendencies were able to do so by using what's called executive function. Our executive function consists of the cognitive skills which allow us to control our impulses and actions and help us to pursue our goals. Those with a more developed executive function are better able to control their willpower and delay gratification, whether that's by choosing to wait for the two marshmallows, stick to that diet, give up bad habits like smoking, and stay faithful in our relationships. So, does that mean some of us are doomed to having less willpower and the ability to delay gratification? Luckily, although some people may be better than others at resisting temptations, all of us can improve our self-control skills by using the following techniques. If-then implementation plans make self-control automatic. By forming and practicing if-then implementation plans, such as, if I crave chocolate, then I will eat a piece of fruit, or when my alarm rings, I will go to the gym, we make our hot system reflexively trigger the desired response whenever the cue occurs. In time, a habit is formed, and it makes it much easier to resist those temptations. One of the reasons why delaying gratification is so difficult is due to our inability to connect with our future selves. We choose to eat the pizza now because we are unable to imagine ourselves in 20 years' time, suffering from ill health brought on by years of poor diet. To help us better make this connection, we have to imagine ourselves in old age, not in an abstract way, but emotionally, as if we were already there. The more emotionally connected we are to our future self, the more we will incorporate it into our present self-conception and be better at exerting our willpower in the face of difficult choices. Self-distancing can help us to re-examine painful experiences by looking at it from the point of view of a third party. Imagine a painful experience as if you were a fly on the wall, watching yourself. This change in perspective can help us to increase the psychological distance from the event, reducing stress and cooling the hot system. It helps us to regain better control of our thoughts and feelings and grant us more self-control. The fundamental principle is to cool the now and heat the later. Self-control depends on a variety of factors, but the important thing is that we can all improve our self-control skills and willpower. However, like all skills, we can only exercise it when we are willing and motivated to do so.